Afternoon, everyone. We are Group 8. My name is Tim. Let's start our showcase about our project, which called Houses Real Estate. Our presentation has 4 parts. Firstly, I will introduce our team members and the blueprint of the project. Then our developer members will show the demo of the project and the technology stack. After that, our the deployment. Now, let me show you our team members. Steven is our tutor, and finally, we have 5 developers, include Tim, Chester, Jesse, Zachary, and Kira. And we have 4 DevOps, which is Rune, Severin, Haley, and Sky. Which we developed is a house display and transaction website. The homepage includes the sign up, sign in, and a search function. For the management pages, the agent can publish and edit the properties here. For display page, all the user can visit with 2 styles, which are list style or map styles. Next, our developer team will show us the demo. Now start with my friend Jesse.
Thank you, Tim. I'm Jesse. I would like to introduce sign up and sign in function. When the user clicks the sign up button, it will direct to sign up page. When the user input the valid email address, the arrow information will remind the user. When the user input the existing email address, and it will also mention the email already exists. Only valid email address and valid password are allowed to sign up. When the user clicks Create Account button, the email verification is needed. The user will receive the verification link. If the user don't collect the verification link and try to sign in, and the error message will show. So the user must verify the email and then be able to sign in. When the user sign in with match the email and the password, the error information will pop up. Only match email and password allow the user to sign in. Once successfully, page will jump to the home page, and the sign in and sign up button will disappear. The favorite and user icon will show up. That's all for my part. Next one is Chester.
Thank you, Jesse. I'm Chester. I'm going to introduce our property edit function. Now we are at the home page, and we click this button. We will go to the backend, and we can go to the add property page. As you can see, there are several information that we need to edit. First, the title, maybe the house, the type, say the house, and description, and also the price. That should be the number, and the land size should also be the number, and bedroom number, and it is your property pre-owned. And we also got the auto-complete function. When you type in an address, it will be auto-completed. And there are also several dimensions to edit: the living room number, the bathroom number, and the garage. And also we got some indoor facility and outdoor facilities. And finally, we have to add the image picture. And finally, when we submit the table, the new property will be added. And next, we'll come to Zachary.
Okay, now I'd like to show you guys how we display our properties. Firstly, if you type some keywords in the search bar, the relevant location will appear below. Choose one and click search. You will go to the list page, and the relevant properties will display, including the title, location, room information, agent information, and price. You can also filter the properties by the search bar on the left. We can also check the house information by map. Each time you move the map, the page will refresh and new houses will appear. And just as the list page, you can filter the houses. For example, I only want houses no more than 1 million, so I set the condition and search. As you can see, only 2 houses left on the page. And also, maybe I only want a house more than 3 bedrooms, so I set the condition again and click search. As you can see, only one house is left with 4 bedrooms. And then I clear all the conditions again and click all the houses will display. And if you want to check the details of a house, you can just choose one and click it. Then you will go to the detailed page of this house. Here you can check more images of this house and also other detailed information and also how to contact us. That is how we display our houses. Then let's move to the technology part.
Thank you, Zachary. This is Kilo. I'm going to talk about the technology stack. In our project, for the back-end, Spring Security and the JWT token are used to achieve access control and authentication. Besides, we also use Flyway to achieve database version control. In addition, Next.js is used to achieve SSR. We use 2 ways to do the data fetching, client-side data fetching and server-side rendering. For the personal page, client-side data fetching is used. In the property list page, we can't fetch the data before rendering, while for the public page, server-side rendering is used to help the SEO. In the property detail page, we can get all the data before the data rendering. Besides, for the back-end, we completed the integration test and unit test with Mockito and JUnit. For the front-end, we completed a unit test with React testing library and Jest. Next, work on our DevOps team.
Thanks, Kilo. This is Selwyn. I will introduce the application architecture of our project. As you can see, we use the S3 bucket to serve static contents. We cache the contents near the user's physical location by using CloudFront, and it also reduces the latency during the content delivery, which works with the AWS Certificate Manager to provide an encrypted connection for our application. Our application is implemented in ECS bucket tests, and it spans 2 availability zones, which increases more stability. To make sure security, the whole ECS is deployed in private subnets, and there is no direct access from the outside without net gateway's help, so only bucket tests enable to request images from ECR and send logs to CloudWatch for monitoring. We deployed an application load balancer to allow the users enabled to access the contents of our container. Each bucket task is attached to an elastic network interface. When one of tasks or services shut down or more requests appear, ECS will automatically expand new tasks and configure it with the load balancer by using autoscaling function. Therefore, it further reduces the downtime rate. Next, Haley will bring some more detailed information about our front-end architecture.
Thank you, Susan. I'm Haley, and next I'm going to introduce our front-end architecture. Our CI/CD pipeline tool is Jenkins. We use GCP Compute Engine to install the Jenkins server and configure Jenkins with SSL using an NGX reverse proxy on Ubuntu. Certbot is used to obtain the SSL certificate and encrypt the traffic. We need to make the GCP Compute Engine public IP address static instead of ephemeral, and then use Route 53 to give our GCP Compute Engine a domain. There are generally 5 stages in our Jenkins file, which are install dependencies, run the tests, use Sonar Cloud to further check the code quality and vulnerabilities. If everything goes well, build the artifacts. Then the last step is to synchronize what we built with our S3 bucket. S3 bucket is where we host our static website, and we can still upload content to the S3 bucket. From the user side, they request our website domain, which we use Route 53 to host. After that, CloudFront is used to cache and deliver the content through edge locations, and CloudFront uses OAI to associate with S3 bucket. Lastly, ACM is used to encrypt the network traffic here. Next, Sky will introduce our backend architecture.
Hello everyone, this is Sky. As Selwyn did a general introduction of our architecture, and I was just going to grab 4 interesting points in the backend and share with you. And we started from creating Docker file. We got multi-stage init and do the package and run with Gradle. And following this process, there are 2 jobs in the GitHub action, and one is the Sonar Cloud doing code quality check. The other is to upload the image to the ECR. And we choose the sonarcloud.io as our server. And with these two commands in the GitHub Action workflows, and helping to generate and import the coverage report in the server. And every time the code pull request or merged, two jobs in the action will be triggered. Also, with the enforced deployment config in the Terraform, ECS is always deploying the latest image of ECR, and that is how our CI/CD work in the backend. And two Postgres and production environment were created. And front-end and database environment variables can be inserted in the ECS container. And that is how we connect to our backend server to the database and front-end. And next part is monitoring. And welcome to Ron.
Hello everyone, my name is Ron and I'm going to talk about monitoring. So we create CloudWatch to get the metrics and to export the data source from the AWS throughout the CI/CD in the front and the back end, and virtualize them in the AWS Grafana. And these are some screenshots of our project. This matrix shows the load balancer. So we monitor average response time and the count of the request. This matrix shows the conditions of the CloudFront. This is error rate and this is the request. This matrix shows the ECS cluster CPU and memory usage. This matrix shows our database server conditions and the memory storage usage. And thank you for attending our presentation. Please feel free to ask any questions. Thank you.